Lance Armstrong once said, "Hard work, sacrifice, and focus will show up in tests." Lance Armstrong is an inspirational athlete who has inspired not only cancer patients, but all people who have thought about quitting a battle. In the following speech, I will be telling you why Lance Armstrong is one of my favorite role models, his fight through cancer, and why Lance Armstrong is someone others should look up to. After graduating from Bishop Chatard High School, I was offered a preferred walk-on on the Ball State football team. While this was a great honor, I knew it wouldn't be easy competing because of my size. When I arrived at school the summer of my freshman year, I started doubting my abilities right away. I was not as fast or strong as any of the other players on the team. All drills were becoming a heartache and seemed nearly impossible to keep up with the other players that quitting was going through my mind. As we had a practice break, I started watching the most famous cycling race of the year, the Tour de France. It was Lance's final Tour de France. Knowing that Lance was a cancer survivor, I looked more into his story by reading his book. After reading the book, I knew that as someone who survived cancer, the most vigorous fight a person can endure, I can survive my fight in football. I started training harder and had the mindset that I would never give up and would succeed. Now that you know why Lance Armstrong has influenced my life, I will tell you about Lance Armstrong's battle through cancer. His story is very touching to everyone because he beat cancer even though he had such an extraordinary low chance of surviving. Lance Armstrong grew up in Texas with his mother. His birth father left him and his mother when he was 2 years old, and to this day Lance has refused to see his birth father. Lance did not attend college, choosing the road to become a professional triathlon athlete at age 16. After competing in triathlons, it became evident that Lance's greatest talents were in cycling. Lance's first great accomplishment was in 1991 when he won the U.S. Amateur Championship, the United States' biggest bicycling race. Lance finally signed with his first cycling team, Motorola, after winning countless amounts of races. In 1994, Lance became the first cyclist to ever win the Triple Crown of cycling. Lance continued to win races regularly until October 1996 when tragedy hit. Lance was diagnosed with stage 3 testicular cancer. The cancer quickly spread to his lungs, abdomen, and brain. When visiting a doctor in Texas, Lance had to have immediate surgery to survive. Even after the surgery, doctors said that Lance had less than a 40% chance of survival. However, Lance fought what the doctors said, and by 1998 he was in serious training for his next cycling race. Lance went on to race for 7 more years until he announced his retirement in 2005. Lance came back to race in both the 2009 and 2012 Tour de France and finished third in both the races. After learning how Lance fought courageously during his difficult time, I will tell you how he encourages others. Besides a cancer survivor and inspiring others on that great story alone, Lance also has a foundation. Live Strong is a non-profit organization whose mission is to inspire and empower cancer survivors and their families. Live Strong's motto is unity is strength, knowledge is power, and attitude is everything. The yellow Live Strong bracelet is a sign of hope for all people being affected by cancer. The foundation provides free patient navigation services to survivors with financial, emotional, and practical challenges that accompany the disease, and to this day has raised over $500 million for cancer research. Now that you heard why Lance is an inspiration to me and all about Lance's background and his continuous donations to cancer research, I hope you see why Lance Armstrong should be an example to us all. As Lance once said, "Pain is temporary, quit lasts forever."